Hey everyone, it's Brian from Team Aquascape. Hope you all had a great New Year's. This is our first video of the year and thought we'd do it a little different just to kick off the year. I'm gonna turn it over to Trevor, head of our tech department over there. Trevor actually worked for Aquascape Construction for about a year, 2 years, and now his primary job is in our office helping contractors across the world. But Trevor is an unbelievable artist. And the pond that he built for himself, the pond he built for his parents, and now the pond he built for his brother is one of the coolest I've ever seen.
What's up guys, it's Trevor with Team Aquascape. I'm here at my brother's house. You guys might have seen the videos of me doing my own pond at my new house. You might have seen a couple of videos of the pond I built at my parents' house. And now we're here at my brother's house and we're gonna do something pretty crazy here. Alright, so we're out here on a Friday evening. My dad, brother, myself, after a long day of work, we're basically starting to set grades, taking measurements and doing all that prep work for the retaining walls. We got one timber in there just to kind of start measuring things, looking at what exactly we're gonna set the grade to. Like I said before, the waterfall's coming there and that timber section is basically going to be in the water. So that'll be super cool, but it's a little bit challenging to figure out how exactly we're gonna do that while also retaining it and making sure that it's structurally sound. So that's the difficult part, but we have some good ideas, so hopefully they work. Finishing up these railroad tie retaining walls. What we did over here, you can kind of see this one has that vertical post that's dropped about 2 feet into undisturbed soil. So basically that'll be pretty solid, and then we also concreted and did some gravel around that. But in addition to that, we're doing some tie back stuff here. So we're just using some underlayment. This is just extra precaution. So we've attached it to the railroad tie. Usually you could use like a geotextile. We had extra of this, so not a big deal here because we've already got the big vertical posts that are going to actually be retaining most of this, but just extra precaution. Underneath that, we've got our perforated drain tube. We got fabric around this, and then the drainage gravel. So whenever you guys are doing stuff like this, make sure that it doesn't have any fines in it so that the water can actually percolate through there. But yeah, after that, we're going to wrap this. So we'll fill this whole wall with gravel, and then we'll wrap it in the underlayment so that the dirt and stuff doesn't get in there. And then from there, we'll bury everything. We're gonna keep working on putting these posts in, and then we're on to this guy over here, which is gonna be the waterfall. We're back here another Sunday, so almost every weekend we're working on some part of this project. So today we actually have a couple extra helpers, and I'm gonna take you up there and look at the main waterfall, this area we've been working on. The reason we have the helpers is we don't have a machine, and we've got a pretty decent sized stone to move, and it's a frame rock, so it makes it difficult, and it needs to be positioned perfectly so that waterfall looks great. So we've got some of the stonework down here to build up elevation, so we could actually place our frame rock on top of that gravel bed that we did back here. Probably raise it a little bit higher, and then up here we have some spill stones we were playing with. So we want this to overhang this wall a little bit, but overall, just gonna be a very simple kind of sheet style falls. We're gonna have nice sharp edges that the water is gonna come off of. And then from there, we're gonna cut those guys into this railroad tie so that it's a little more, it's got more craftsmanship to it, I think is what it's gonna do. It'll look more artistic, which is cool. And then from there, we'll frame it out and kind of keep working our way up the hill. So let's see what we can do and hopefully get this waterfall constructed today. Got our big frame rock in. We actually got the liner going in behind it now, and we're backfilling this railroad tie wall, so there'll be a bunch of drainage gravel back there. So the idea is to basically keep the water away and off of these guys, so in reality they really won't have any water touching them. We're gonna get a bib liner going over them. They might get splashed on a little bit, but nothing crazy. The interesting thing here is we're gonna actually have to start working our way up. So we've got the gravel backfill going up, but at a certain point we're not gonna have soil to retain that, so then we're gonna come in with soil and then balance it with the gravel and soil and gravel until we're up to grade where we want it to be. So yeah, we have a little extra help today. Moved this big stone, got it in place. Again, no machine, so that was fun. We're gonna cut into the railroad ties. And yeah, it's starting to take shape. So back here another weekend. A couple of things have happened since you guys have seen this project last. Over here, we've got our waterfalls built coming in. We still have rocks that need to go down in here, so this will change, but we have the main waterfall that's gonna be spilling from there. Kind of simplified it, went with a really flat flagstone-y type thing. We have waterfalls right behind there. Those should kind of concave on each other, which will be really cool. And then awesome new product up there. This new spill bowl color we have is gonna be so cool. It's nestled in there with that log, and then we have waterfalls coming off of there, waterfalls behind that guy right there. So all kinds of really cool stuff that has happened in the past couple of days. We've got this rock in here that we've cropped into the wall. We've got another retaining wall that we've added, and yeah, so we're about to start working our way up the hill, kind of finishing the waterfalls. We have an overlap that needs to happen. After that, it's on to phase 2. So phase 2 is actually going to be down below. We need to start ripping out the soldier course on this patio so that we can begin to excavate for our main pond, which is going to take up almost all of this area. So that's super exciting. We're gonna have a wetland in the back. We're gonna have an intake bay over on the side. I'm super stoked to see how this turns out. Awesome day here. We've got Kane County Landscape Supply that has brought us out all these massive mossy boulders, all of our different gravel and stuff. So they've been absolutely phenomenal to work with. Super stoked to get the rock here, and basically we're getting rolling today. So this is super exciting stuff. We're gonna be in the back working. I'm gonna let these guys bring the boulders to the back. Let's get to it. Dump the bucket, dude. guys can see, we are well underway today. Day 2 with the machine on site, and we are all hands on deck. We got Grandpa Rico over here working on getting some gravel out of the existing patio. We've got Nick, my brother, in the machine. We've got my dad digging, even my brother's girlfriend Maggie in the background there, kind of grading out the soil. So right now we're actually working on creating some tiers for the waterfalls. So basically excavating into the existing soil, creating little shelves to where we can create those cascades, placing rocks. A little bit of thinking through this to figure out how big a stone we have to use along with how tall those waterfalls are going to be. So as you can see, we have the transit kind of set up, the paint we've been marking and thinking. So we're going to continue here. We're going to try to work our way through this. We've made pretty good progress recently on these waterfalls. So you can kind of see it's going to start all the way up over there. You almost won't see it. It'll kind of hide in the bushes and the plantings, and it'll kind of start to appear. And then as it comes down the hillside, it'll actually pick up volume of flow. So we're going to throw in a couple of different, spots where flow will build up and kind of create stronger and bigger waterfalls, and then eventually cascading in here where we will have the water all the way up to the patio. Right now we've got our tape measure kind of running through. We wanted to gauge on how long our liner was and where we're ending up. So we've done our calculations, but as you're out in the field, a lot of the times things start to shift and change a little bit. So we just wanted to make sure we're somewhat on par. So we've got the tape measure kind of running up and down the hill. So when you're calculating liner, these are all the things you need to account for. You need to account for the overlaps that are going to happen up above, right? We need to account for the trenching down below. That's adding, possibly up to a foot. And then as we come up and then over the edges, we're going to have our intake bay here. And we are still in good shape, but it's something to consider while you're out in the field so that you're not cutting yourself short on liner. And again, I always say this to contractors, this is massive when you're installing and quoting water features. Always overquote the liner. You don't want to limit yourself or the creativity. So build within the restraints of what is in the budget. Again, we're just double checking. We're about to start on the intake bay excavation here. We are about to start putting fabric and liner in. So you can see all the excavation is done. A lot of it's roughed in. The soil is actually super soft. Not the easiest to carve in, but we were able to do what we needed. We're excited because we're gonna put the underlayment in, and then we are going to be able to put the liner in today so we can start rocking in this week. So again, as you can see down below, got our trenches for the block wall that's gonna be going in. We got the block wall set up there, so we're gonna see how that goes in. It's gonna be a little difficult because it's all a big square, not as easy, but the intake bay shelf is over there, and then we've got another shelf over here to build up, and then water level will terminate somewhere around there, and then we're gonna start another outside of the pond retaining wall with the railroad ties. And as you can see over there, they've got that compact 15 by 100 roll of heavy duty underlayment, so that stuff's awesome. Anyways, we're gonna get to it and get underlayment and then liner in here today.
I am currently under the weather. So this morning has been chaotic. I actually have been behind schedule. So I've taken a day off of work. Again, I want to keep you guys updated with what it's like to build this thing on top of having a full-time job and family and everything. Drop my daughter off at grandma's house, and then I'm on my way to my brother's house, and he's taking a full week off. So it's chaotic, there's a lot going on. And for a project of this scale, if you want to do it right, there's a lot to consider as far as, making sure that you're accounting for the amount of time it would actually take to build this thing. So with that, you know, we've got a lot to do today. We've got to build all of the main waterfalls, and yeah, I mean, very little time to do it, especially when you're not 100% sure what you're doing. It's going to be super difficult to pull this off, but I'm staying confident. I don't think we're not going to do it. I know we have to do it, so it's going to get done. Anyways, let's build some waterfalls. Wish us luck. We're going to get into it. Let me take you on a quick little tour of what we've done for the waterfalls. I'm really excited with how these are turning out. It's been a little difficult because of the grade change and not working through the lower part of the pond like I wanted to, just because of our time limitation with the machine. So let's look and see what's going on with the waterfalls. All right, so you can see here we have all the mossy boulders from Kane County Landscape and Material. They are so nice. I mean, look at all the lichens and moss on there, and all the little concave areas, the little you know, unique weathered parts are super fun to work with when it comes to waterfalls. So what we've got going on here is we're actually going to have a pinch falls kind of happening and coming through these guys, and then it almost will open up into this little crevice that we've created there. Over here we're going to have some type of nice sheet falls coming off of that, and actually we're positioning this boulder now, and the water is going to cut through this pre-cut crevice, I guess that's naturally been done, and it actually will help to create more of a waterfall spill in there. And then we have this guy, which most of our flow will be coming over, and that will just be another kind of waterfall, and water level is going to be somewhere around here. So here's a quick little update. We have to keep working our way through there and then meet up with that pooling area up top. So we had an absolutely killer day in progress. We have all of our waterfalls built. That is completely done. The rocks are set. We've got our wetland dug over there. We've got the machine almost empty on gas. So it has been quite a week for us, but my brother does have tomorrow off, and he's got a whole pile of soil to move around. So lots of fun. We're starting to mess around with the bricks, figure out what we're gonna do down there. And then we're gonna have to seam on a piece of liner for that wetland, but I am super stoked with how this is turning out. Our original block wall idea has kind of transitioned, so we wanted to go with a really like kind of formal look. So we're going with these cinder blocks, and we're actually going to face them with a nice like concrete edge, so it's going to look extremely formal. But obviously we have some rocks in there, so we're still going to crop it in and make it look naturalized to some extent. But with that, these cinder blocks are not like landscaping block where you can't necessarily just level them off in, you know, a base material as easily, because they don't have as much of a base to actually set that on. So what we've done is we've come in here with a concrete form basically, and then poured concrete, created everything nice and flat. And then we also put some rebar in there for extra structural support, because this wall will be going up about 4 feet tall. We had our buddy John come out and help us with that. He's a concrete guy, so that was kind of cool. And then we are going to figure out where all these guys need to set, basically coming off this existing patio. We got the plumb bob set up so we can know exactly where it is. I think it's going to look really unique, really cool, and we're going to cap it with wood. All right, so the light is now cut into the block wall. As you can see, we've got our cable coming up through this block wall. There's where the light sits. And then from there, we're gonna create a chase system so that if these lights ever need to be replaced, it can be easily done. It's not always necessary to do that. However, for a block wall, something that is more of a structural aspect like this, I think it's a good idea to have that option. We are filling the wetland with all of our gravel. I got Chris here from Team Aquascape. I got my dad working on this. It's been a great day of progress, and we are almost filled. Basically, this wetland filter is gonna clean the entire system. And it's really important for large systems like this because it is an ecosystem. We need to make sure that everything is balanced and taken care of biologically, as well as mechanically, which is our intake bay over there. So anyways, we're finishing up this wetland today. Let's see how this goes. Of progress in the back there on my brother's project. So really quickly, I want to kind of take you guys through my thought process and what's been going on so far. And so over here we've got the intake bay that is basically in. So this is all roughed in. You can see Dewey over there is actually exploring the new doggy bowl. So my dogs absolutely love drinking out of our fountain bowl, and I know theirs are too. So that's going to be an awesome addition right off the patio. We're actually going to crop that in. We've got the big block wall all set. The next step for that is actually going to be doing a concrete coat over the face of all of it to make it look nice and uniform. And then we're going to go over the top of that with, as you can see, some different wood. So I think we're going to go with hickory. We've been kind of going back and forth on, keeping the price down a little bit lower, but also considering what's going to last the longest. And then over here, this was quite a project. We have the whole wetland filter in. So kind of went over that. I had Chris from Team Aquascape out here yesterday. So this is an 8 aqua block wetland filter. We have a half centipede and a snorkel. We've got 2 layers in this one, so a little less than the 3 layers, but still for a pond of this size, it's not super huge, so that is going to be plenty for filtration. Anyways, we've got all kinds of stuff happening here. We've got the lights on the wall, we've got the patio coming over the wall, we've got the waterfalls done. I've got a ton of work ahead of me for the next 1 month. So we have our wood that is actually going to cap off this entire block wall that is now like a concrete wall. This was a white oak and it is non-kiln dried, so that it was a little bit cheaper that way. After talking to the guys out at the Kirkland sawmill where we got this, basically they had said, yeah, you don't really need it if it's going underwater to be kiln dried. So that's what we got. It is a 2x12. We actually are going to use some tap into here. We're going to glue it to the wall. So then after that's done, we'll fill the rest of these guys up with the sand, and then we can attach it. Going to miter the corners so that it looks really nice and clean. Enough to pull this guy out. So what's going on, Jack? How's it been?
It's been good. I've been building with our team, but it's nice to come out here and work with you. I know you and I get to work majority in the winter time and not usually the summertime around here. But no, it looks really cool. I know I helped you at your house and everything, and so I figured it was going to be an awesome project, and it's definitely more than I thought it was. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was too. I love it a lot. I just love how you have the timber walls, all the bowls, just all the height that you have to work with. I'm so jealous because we never get to work with this much height here. I'm really looking forward to when they get everything all finished up and seeing what it's going to look like.
Jack, it was great having you out. As always, love working with him. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. push. We're trying to get this done. Obviously it's dark out. It's like only 4:30. This has gone a full season. Like we started in June, as you can see. Still have my dad working. I don't know, hopefully we can get it done. What a crazy adventure this has been. As you can see, I've got this little girl here with me. When we started this project, she wasn't even born yet, and now she's totally enjoying this. This has been used for all kinds of filming purposes. We started off with the vlog, and then it kind of turned into actually using it for the Aquascape Contractor Toolkit, which is going to be a great resource for all the contractors out there, and even like marketing stuff. So such an amazing project, and now my family is out here enjoying it. Last thing that we need to do is get Brian Helfrich's approval, because he is one of the best pond builders in the world, and he's an artist just like me, and I'm looking forward to walking through this entire project. But I'm gonna enjoy this with my family for the rest of the day. It has been quite an experience. I hope you guys enjoyed. She's getting a little fussy because she wants to go check it out. Anyways, take a look. Let me know what you guys think. Something that you always think of on your projects, and I admire, you know, as far as designing next.
Did you hear him say he admires me? That's what I heard. That's what I so heard.